Hello. Today I want to talk about concave and convex shapes. So I thought I would first say we're going to be like looking from above to below. So I thought it would be a good idea to perhaps start with a sphere. Well, that's not right. Sorry, I am not drawing on the right layer. Let's try to get a better sphere. Well, the important thing is that we're looking from above to below on our sphere. I'm going to draw a partial ellipse to say that it is a sphere. And concave and convex. So concave is if it was kind of going in, like there was something falling in. And there's a variety, many ways to do this, and I thought the best way would be to draw a pole on our sphere. So I think a pole. Let's do concave first, so it's kind of like falling in. So basically, you could think of it as if we scooped a chunk out of the ball. Like, let's say the ball was ice cream, right? So if it was ice cream, it would kind of be like that. Yeah, let's do that. And if it was ice cream, it would kind of be like that. And an ice cream cone kind of has this, kind of has these individual chunks. Not individual chunks, but just the cone has like these things, and it kind of has like this other directional thing. Sorry, this is like so unrelated to it. I'm just gonna leave it there. But let's say we had a spoon and we carved out a little chunk. I'm gonna do a greater chunk so I can kind of hone in the example. I'm gonna make it more forward facing too. So we have a chunk. We have our face. And we have a mouth. We take a bite out of our ice cream. And we're left with a chunk. So, I should have drawn that the other way. I guess you may have to kind of work with it a bit. Assuming everyone has a bite, and I didn't really draw that in, but I basically drew a pole, and the idea behind this pole is that it's concave. So it's like there's been a chunk taken out, and you can kind of tell this because, well, one, because of the line here, the way the direction it's facing indicates to us that it's like there's a chunk missing from the ball now. If you could think of like if you took a bite of the ice cream. I'll show you. I'm going to do a view over here to kind of hone in the point. Let's say we're looking at the snow cone. I'm not going to draw all that, or maybe I'll do it. And if we're looking at it from the side, let's say the angle of it being eaten, or like the portion of it that it was getting eaten, was like that. Let me erase this real quick to show you. So yeah, the chunk is missing, and basically we're representing that ice cream chunk is a missing piece by drawing a concave lines within that missing chunk to show how around the curvature, it kind of like, you could say it kind of like wraps in on itself. I mean, you could draw, you could draw as many of these concave lines as you need to hone in the point. But I thought 2 was simple enough. I think I need more and it starts to look like a cone. So I think keeping it like that is good enough. And now I want to talk about convex, which I believe would be like an additional form. So let's go over here. And I'm going to draw a ball. And let's assume I took a gumball, okay? I took a gumball, like a gumball here, G for gumball, and I stuck it within this ball. Or, let's just assume it's ice cream as well. We assume it is ice cream. We stuck it in the ball, and what do we have? Well, we have an ice cream with a ball in it. And I just realized I didn't draw my partial ellipses that I always like to draw. I'm going to draw that here too. Yeah. I drew my partial ellipses, and we have the gumball here, and I guess I could draw my partial ellipse too. But the thing about this is the gumball that's now stuck in our ice cream, that gumball is no longer, it's in there, but it's kind of sticking out. It's not like we took a bite of it. And if we were going to think of the ice cream cone as anything, it would kind of be like this, right? I'm going to draw like a mini version. We draw our mini version, and the gumball, like let's say we're looking at it from the side, right? If it would be twisted like that, it's kind of like, well, no, we said it was in it, so it would kind of be like that, because it, our ice cream now has that gumball wedged in it, and it's kind of sticking out. So I think in this case, you want to show lines like convex lines to show that it's kind of popping out. And note that the line that I'm going to draw it this way, it could be difficult when you're trying to draw through so many forms. And I don't want to leave it to I guess I could make it a bit contour, and I hate to make my contour lines kind of wrap in because I think this is right. In this case, the convex lines that I'm drawing on this ball are basically ellipses on the sphere, because it's basically like a sphere wedged in a sphere, and I think a good way to visualize it is through other ellipses to show that it's not a missing chunk, but it's an additional chunk. I mean, in another video I talked about how you can kind of layer on contours. So if you had this ice cream here and you were kind of like layering it like that, you can kind of go again and layer another one, which I guess that could be another suitable method as well. But the important thing here is that it's sticking out and not going in like it was over here. I'm going to get rid of that line. So the other thing is, the important thing about concave lines, well, you kind of already get the gist of both, But I just stuck to balls here. Like, there are many different shapes that, like, not everything is a ball. Like, the thing is, like, contour lines go along with the surface of the thing. Like, not everything is going to be a ball. Like, let me think of something. If you had a pile, let's say you had a pile of, I can't think of anything, but the thing I remember from, like, when I took the Drawbox course is that there was, like, pretty much like a goop pile, and it was like it was like a form of some type. It was kind of just like a goop form. Just think of it as a goop form, and there's, like, no, you know what? I'll draw a sausage. So, like, there was a section in it talking about organic forms, and the fact, the important thing about organic forms was that I'm gonna struggle with drawing this. The important thing about organic forms was, like, there was a pole, and, yes, the organic form is made up of a series of ellipses, but it can have like different contours. Like, let me show you, right? It can be like that. And if you see it, and if you kind of follow, I'm gonna get rid of that other one. You can kind of follow that, like, there's like an indent within the contour here. And yeah, it's still like, it's like a partial ellipse, but it's more like, we're like wrapping around the contour of it. And it's like really weird because it's kind of like a challenge. There's kind of like, I'm going to do the rest of them here and kind of show, I'm probably not doing it the best way because it's kind of like going away from us. But the important thing here is, like, let's say you had a pencil, you could lay it on top of here and it wouldn't fall out because there's like a middle section that is concave. So yeah, it's kind of like that. You can kind of form fit it to whatever you need it to. And let me think, if I had a pencil, what would be the best way? I think if I had like a cylinder here, and maybe, let's say it was a pencil, right? I'm going to put a point there, and I'm going to draw, yeah. I think the important thing is, like, it's not sitting in, but it's like sitting on top. And the degree back here is going to be a little less wide. I'm going to connect it, and you can kind of fit a cylinder kind of fits within that concave indentation on the top of the organic form, if that makes sense. It would kind of stay there, and it wouldn't fall off because it's kind of, because it follows the contours we had, which are kind of like, they're kind of like concave lines that are like, they're partial concave lines. That's what I would call it. But yeah, I hope that explains it. But let me show you one more thing. Let's assume that this was like an indent, and the important thing is like the lines that I'm drawing that kind of go through it. I'm kind of like, I think of these lines that I just drew as, I think of that as concave. And I usually think of these lines as convex. That's the way I think of it. But yeah, I hope this helps you. If you like my videos, please like it, and if you're interested in my content, please subscribe if you're interested. If you have a question, please ask in the comments. But thank you for listening. Bye.